Hi, welcome to Maverick and Dempsey's Rundown. Hey, we got a all-fight edition. I think, yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. All-fight edition. Last night was a big night of fights, all right? We'll start with the UFC, okay? We did not watch the UFC, caught the highlights, but Curtis Blades was knocked out in the second round by Derek the Black Beast Lewis. Impressive knockout and a heck of a fight between two big heavyweights. And that was pretty much all that was really notable on the card. All right, so let's move on to boxing, my sport. Yay, my favorite sport. All right, yeah, let's go to boxing. Yeah. All right, so there were two cards last night, okay? We'll start with the lesser card. We'll build up. We'll save the best for last, all right? Adrian Broner had a return fight after a 2-year layoff. Adrian Broner, who at one time was thought to be the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather, not necessarily in terms of talent, but in terms of bravado and maybe even star appeal, that has not come to pass. He is not the star of Floyd Mayweather. He certainly doesn't have the talent of Floyd Mayweather. He's been beaten a couple times here, and he's not really looking any better if you judge by last night. He battled Jovine Santiago. He battled a guy I never even heard of, all right? And a guy who made him look bad, and in fact, you know, in many people's opinion, won the fight. My personal opinion, won the fight. And I know Abner Mares, who's doing commentary, he felt he won the fight, or at the very least got a draw. But the judges, like they do in boxing sometimes, and all combat sports, UFC included, they favored the star, and they gave it to Adrian Broner. And honestly, after this, I think Adrian Broner might battle a couple more taxi cab drivers, something like that. If he gets in the ring with a real contest, if he gets in there with a real champion or a real contender, he's going to have a problem. AB showed no development. He was rusty after 2 years, but when you're battling a guy that shouldn't even be on your level, that most people haven't even heard of, then you come back after, I mean, it's an easy fight. That's why you've been set up with an easy fight coming back after a 2-year layoff. You're supposed to win. I mean, maybe not make it look easy, make it look easy, but I mean, let's not forget here. Mike Tyson was in prison for a few years, comes back, fights Peter McNeely, and drills him in a matter of seconds. All right, you just went 12 rounds against Jovine Santiago, and you didn't get the victory. In many people's opinion, you lost. You lost to an unheard of, and you're supposed to be Adrian the Problem Broner. The problem is your problem now. All right, so you're gonna have to deal with that. I think in terms of being a star, his name value, his marquee value, his ability to sell a fight and be the villain will get him back in a main event picture. But as soon as he battles anybody with any sort of skill at all, he's gonna get stopped, or he's gonna get decided. He may just get beat down. I mean, anyway, let's move on to the bigger fight of last night, the bigger fight card, and that was on ESPN. And that was the main event of Miguel Berchelt, the WBC super featherweight champion, against why is his name all of a sudden escaping me? Valdez. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
He was battling Oscar Valdez. All right, I'm trying to remember a lot of names here, and the one I was worried about was Curtis Blades. But all of a sudden, the guy that I was cheering for the most last night is the one whose name I forgot. All right, all right. Anyway, all right. So Oscar Valdez looked amazing last night. He went in there with the game plan against Miguel Berchelt. Miguel Berchelt had come in at weight, but he put on 16 pounds overnight. So it was possible that he was weight drained. He looked weight drained. He was standing straight up like a European fighter. I didn't like the way he looked early on. I've seen this guy. I saw him battle El Bandito Francisco Vargas, all right? Vargas, who I'm a big fan of, who lost twice to him. And both those times I thought Vargas had him, because Vargas is somebody that I watched coming up, and I thought he could take him. So based on that, I was not going to bet against Miguel Berchelt. The guy's a warrior. The guy has fists of steel. So he was going in there to knock him out. But right away, from the very early on, like I said, he was fighting like a European fighter. He was standing straight up. There wasn't much give in the knees. So I didn't understand that. That's not the style I'm used to him seeing. And Valdez went in there, and Valdez was cocked back in a boxer like stance, where he wasn't going in there headstrong like the typical Mexican warrior does, looking to just blood and guts war. Let's last man standing is going to be the victor here. He was going in there methodical and diabolical and trying to break him down, trying to exercise a great game plan and stay away from the power of Miguel Berchelt. Well, however, Miguel Burchelt should have feared the power of Oscar Valdez. It was those left hooks that really were ringing true early on. And Oscar Valdez was just landing headshot after headshot, breaking him down. Should have done a little more body work. I'm a big fan of the body. Break the body down, the head's going to come with it. And Mexican fighters are usually the ones who go after the body the most. However, he kept his head attack going. And maybe he saw something I didn't, or maybe he's a head hunter. I'm not really sure what he was working for last night, but he executed a perfect game plan. He was in and out. If his back touched the ropes, he would clinch, he would spin, turn Burchelt around, he would get off of him. It was a perfect game plan up and down. Anyway, it ended with a devastating knockout. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube, check it out. Valdez knocked him out. It felt like a gunshot, or looked like a gunshot. And Burchelt, I'm sure it felt like a gunshot to Burchelt, and he went down like a sack of bricks.
Yeah.
All right, I thought you were going to do something. All right. Anyway, he went down flat on his face. It looked bad. It looked worried. It was scary. And as I explained to her, it was a difficult situation because everybody's worried about Miguel Burchelt because, like I said, he went down like he got shot. It was reminiscent of the Marquez Pacquiao knockout from years ago, where you just fall flat on your face and the first thing is just, we got to check this guy out, see if he's okay. But Oscar Valdez was celebrating, but you can't really fault him for celebrating because although it was a serious situation, Oscar Valdez had just won the title. He just won the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. So this was a time to celebrate. And he did it in a main event, and he did it against a hell of a champion in a all-Mexican war here, you know. So, okay, so let's go to there's always that negativity. Negativity just follows boxing around. You get a great fight. You get two great warriors. You have a great knockout. There's got to be some kind of negativity. So the negativity falls on the referee, all right? The referee, should he have stopped the fight? Should he have stopped the fight? Should he have stopped the fight early? Was Miguel Burchelt weight drained? Did he take too many shots to the head? Look, in the end, this is boxing. This is what happens. I'm glad you're getting the crumbs there. You get hit, you get hurt. It's just what happens. It's the name of the game, all right? This isn't fencing, you know. You don't go in there with helmets and protective gear and make sure nobody can hurt anybody. Burchelt was the champion. You have to give the champion the benefit of the doubt. He had been in wars before. He had been in there with power punchers, and even earlier in the fight, when he got rocked and he went down from Valdez, he was able to come back and even win rounds after that. So you have to give him the benefit of the doubt over that. I didn't even like the referee, whose name escapes me at the moment, but I'm not even a fan of his, but I don't think he did the wrong thing. Once again, you have to give the champion the benefit of the doubt. Going back to Oscar Valdez, though, Oscar Valdez had a hell of a performance. He had the performance of a lifetime, winning the title, getting knockout of the year. I'm going to say it now. I don't care if it's February. That's the knockout of the year. And where does he go from here? And honestly, he goes wherever he wants. He's immediately a star with a knockout like that, against a fighter like that, in a championship like that, in a prime night like that, on ESPN, where so many millions of people got to see it for free. He can go wherever he wants. He can go up and fight Lomachenko. He can stay at 130 and clean that division out and unify titles. He can do whatever he wants. He can let the big names call him. He doesn't even have to call them out. It's going to be exciting to see what happens with him. And Miguel Burchelt, you hope he can come back from this. I don't think there's no real need for a rematch, but maybe he'll seek out one or just try to start a little bit lower, go the Adrian Broner route and start with a guy that drives taxi cabs or takes out trash. But I shouldn't disrespect the guy like that. I'm sorry. I'm just actually stealing, jokes from trolls that were commenting last night. But hey, we have fun here. All right. So, anything for you to add?
Yes.
All right. She's got something to add.
This was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life.
She did. She watched this one with me. She cuddled on the couch and watched it with me. She was excited. First match she's watched with me beginning to end in a while, I think. So, but it was fun. It was a good time. And we need this right now, right? Football's gone. We need something to focus on. So focusing on UFC and boxing, because basketball is not that exciting right now. I mean, hoping Steph Curry and the Warriors can do something, but not really digging the basketball with the no fans and all the other politics and things that are going into that nature. So we need the fights right now. We need the fights to take us to August or September, when football and LSU and the Saints and Buccaneers and everybody else can get back on the fields, for college and pro sports. And let's see, wrestling. We need to do a wrestling podcast soon. We got some hot stuff heating up in the wrestling industry. Tonight's their Elimination Chamber match. And we have the return of Edge. Edge, who's he going to pick to fight? Which world champion will he pick to fight for the title in the main event WrestleMania? I'm hoping it's Roman Reigns. I like Drew McIntyre. I like Drew to get another fight. And I like Edge to take on Roman Reigns because I think Roman Reigns sucks as the champion. And his belt sucks too, that big blue thing he's carrying around. Let's get rid of that big blue W. Get a real belt in there. Get a real champion in there with Edge. But we'll have to do a wrestling podcast sooner or later too. All right, so I think that's it. I think that's it for the rundown this week. We'll be back, I don't know, whenever we get back to it. All right, have a good one.
Goodbye.
Maverick and Dempsey's Rundown. We're out.